ERPNext self-implementation. So let's begin. In this video, we will know why we are doing this in self-implementation videos and video tutorials. In this today's discussion, we will cover what is ERPNext, ERP software implementation challenges, why ERP software implementation fails, what is the right approach for ERP software implementation, why ERPNext online self-implementation as phase 1, comparison with on-site vendors and online self-implementation, comparison with other ERP brands, and why self-implementers is required. So, is ERPNext. ERPNext is an open source web-based system aimed at a small and medium-sized businesses. It assists companies with accounting, human resource management, sales, purchase, inventory, customer relationship management, administration, project monitoring, task deployment, and its management, manufacturing, and even you can create your website. In our last video, we have seen how we can create a website through ERPNext application. ERPNext is built using Python and Prepare framework, and it is using a database for backend. It is a MySQL database. Now, where we are and in how much countries and how we can spread last 15 years in this business. This is the overview of our expansion and business details. ERPNext is in the business of ERP software development since last 15 years. We have across 15,000 plus community across all domains. Our team is 60 plus team built for the success. 5,000 plus global users, then 10,000 plus hours of implementation we have done across the 150 countries. 7,000 plus installation and 12,000 plus community members in our community family. Who are our major customers? Our major customers are Zerodha, then Vista SI, DFM, Geo Financial Services, Swastik. All these are the giant. Blinkit is also a well-known company who is using our ERPNext application. Also, throughout the global, as we say, we spread over 150 plus countries in the globe and 10,000 plus customers across the all domains. This is our team of ERPNext family, 60 plus team members, and on a map we have shown that in which country we are working currently, and we have the customer base from which country. Also, it is 100% world's top rated, 100% open source ERP, high feature coverage, cross-platform compatibility, serve multiple domains and industries, easy and configure, and it is easily customizable at customer end also. Modern, and it's a scalable web platform powered by Prepare framework and eliminate redundancy. Now we will talk about the market share of all domains consideration. Mostly we covered a manufacturing domain, then below that distribution, then service, and then retail. And other domains are agriculture, non-profit organization, educational institutions, healthcare, having also a handsome and good market share by ERPNext applications. And with respect to other competitors, open source competitors, where ERPNext stands in the competition, it is almost on the top page of the market position. Now, what modules ERPNext is offering in the entire entire its web application? We offered, first of all, inventory management, sales and purchase modules, financial accounting, asset management module, customer relationship module, website module, HR and payroll, then projects, quality management, manufacturing. Apart from these are the standard modules. Apart from this, we in ERPNext we have a loan module. You can integrate the all third-party softwares to with ERPNext. That integration module is a separate module, and we have another module called a home module and help desk module as well. So you can set up your own help desk support center from the ERPNext itself. Now, why ERP software implementation fails? Majority of the companies fail to implement ERP software due to we will discuss some of the reasons which is below down. First thing is the lack of knowledge. Not having enough knowledge about the ERP software before implementation. That is a major reason. That's why ERP implementation goes to failure ratio is very high level, because people are not prepared well when they decide, or any company or any stakeholder decide to implement the ERP system. They are not doing proper homework for the implementation. What are the things we need to take care about? What kind of data we required? What kind of infrastructure we require? Suppose in case if we decided to keep that ERP system or its database to in premises. In premises is what that means you need to set up the server and database to your company premises itself. That is called in premises or on premises. So for that, most of the stakeholders or most of the company management people don't know what are the things we require to maintain that server, to maintain that database, what are the resources we require. So because of this, the lack of this knowledge, the ERPNext or any ERP software get failed to implement. Second, required a skilled team and resources. As I talk, if we decided to keep the database and server with our premises, then you required a good system administrator, skilled system administrator person. You required a skilled database administrator as well. So this is the main required things or main required resources to maintain database and maintain the server hardware and its connectivity to operate the ERP system. So this is the major one reason. Because of lack of these two resources, most of the 99% of the ERP will get failed for the implementation. Also, not knowing what is the right time for the ERP implementation. This is the one of the most important factor when we need, or if you don't aware the correct time of requirement of your ERP, then it is a not appropriate good condition or not a good thing for the ERP implementation. So this is the right time. Whenever you realize that this is the right time for the ERP implementation, then you will get the decision to implement the ERP system. Then, what are the challenges in your company? If you face the problems of, do you want to create automation in your operations? During the automation of operation, if you are facing a problem, if you are facing a problem for the data migration from another software, if you are facing customization complexities, are you looking for a cost cutting with simplified and affordable solutions? And also, if you are facing integration issues, then have a lack of technical expertise, or is your team resistant to change the system? And secondly, a need challenge. Do you want comprehensive ERP, CRM, or HRM software trainings to the team? If you are facing any data quality assurance issues, or you facing a change management strategy issues, or you need a flexible and scalable solution, do you need 100% vendor support with long-term collaboration, you facing a compatibility or a capability issue with the third-party integration. And important thing is desires. Don't wish to spend more funds on ERP system if you don't wish to have a zero vendor dependency. Do you wish to have a user-friendly interface? If you wish to get a real-time analytics and reporting, do you wish to have a regulatory compliance followed system? If your all questions answer is yes, then relax. Self-implementation with ERPNext can help you to resolve all these your challenges. Then what is a right approach? How we can approach for the ERPNext self-implementation in phase 1? First, in a phase 1, we will set up ERPNext with self-implementation, understanding your needs, desires, pain points, that is a problem in a day-to-day business transaction of the company, and if you are using any current ERP system. First of all, you need to understand your needs. You can write down your needs, you can write down your desire, you can write down your pain points or a gap where the ERP system and our day-to-day business transaction need to be fulfill our all requirements. So these all points you have to be noted down. Then when you take the demo, or when you take the demonstration of any ERP or ERPNext self-implementation, you need to understand its modules. Thoroughly, you need to understand the modules, features, possibilities, and limitation of the softwares. Then documenting mandatory integrations, migration, customization for the company to start the implementation. Now, once you done all these things, then you can start working with the right vendor or internal team. Now, why ERPNext online self-implementation as a phase 1? ERPNext offers a license-free ERP software. You need not to pay any single penny for the licensing cost of ERPNext because it's open source, 100% open source software. So it will offer a free license for ERP software. ERPNext offer unlimited user access. Like other softwares of any ERP softwares will offer license-based costing. But in ERPNext offers unlimited user access and company management as well. ERPNext offers standard modules and features in version 14. All standard modules which are available in other ERPs software are available in ERPNext. So it is a standard module and all its features are available in ERPNext software. ERPNext offers documentation and community support. As earlier I said, it's a more than 15,000 to 20,000 community members are available in ERPNext family. So it offers a continuous support to your customization and other development requirement of other development for the ERPNext application. ERPNext has a credibility of thousands of customer and developer base. ERPNext is a flexible to use with 100% low code, no code technology. Low code, no code technology means that your end user can customize the reports at their own. For that, you need not require any vendor or any techno-functional consultant or any certified developer for the ERPNext. End user can pick their required columns and required fields and they can generate their reports, which helps that means which help to customize with a drag and drop facility. For example, if you want to see one example, I would like to show you. For that, I'm going to my ERPNext application. Here, I entered my username, password. I'm logged into my screen. Suppose I want to see the sales order report. For example, here I go to the sale order report, and now this report is now visible on my list view option. Now this is the list view layout, and if I want to change this report into a report layout, then I simply click to the then I go for this report layout button and I click drop down button. Here I can change the layout as if I want list view, and if I want to report view, then I can change that layout very easily. This is the one way you can change your layout at any time. The second time, what we are talking about, drag and drop facility. This is the drag and drop facility feature available in ERPNext. As I said, low code, no code technology available in ERPNext. Why I'm talking about like this no code, low code or a drag and drop facility? Suppose in this report view layout, I wanted to remove this customer name column. So the simple thing is to go to the header portion of this column, click on a drop down icon button, and you can select the remove column option. This is as simple as that. User can add and user can remove the column. Suppose here I want to add something other column, then I need to click on add column. This is the one way. Then I need to select the column ID, which column I want to be added. This is the one way I can add the column. Or other way is you need to go to the menu option, and there is a pick column option available in a menu list. So I can click on a pick column. Then all database fields are available for the selection, and user can select whatever the field he or she wants. Suppose I want this mobile number column and other column like branch or a price list, which price list I have applied for this particular sale order. Then you can select and you can submit this. All this column is added at the end of this report. So this way user can add and remove the columns from their reports. This is we called a low code, no code technology. See, mobile number, branch and price list is all three columns we have selected is now added to our report. This is the way, is a very simple way user can add their report and user can customize their report easily. Then the most important thing is available of support by 24/7 availability of this ERPNext application, as well as the support also throughout the world. From any part of the world you can access this ERP application with your fingertips, and even also on your mobile phone as well. ERPNext having a very user-friendly interface, as I have shown you how we can customize the report. It's a very user-friendly interface and very easy to understand the flow of implementation. Wide range of self-customization, configuration, and integration, including the marketplace. If you go to the marketplace and you can choose your whatever the app or application you wanted, and you can get that application very easily to your ERPNext application. Any data can be migrated or integrated from any software into ERPNext. So we will integrate any third-party software with ERPNext application. Now, this is the comparison of the ERPNext self-implementation, online self-implementation, and vendor on-site implementation. Vendor shortlisting and onboarding in a self-implementation, online implementation, you need not require a vendor shortlisting and onboarding time for the self-implementation, online self-implementation. In the case of on-site, yes, it's definitely required a vendor and shortlisting and negotiating with that vendor and their time as well. Vendor negotiation and dependency, no. In an online self-implementation, you need not require negotiation and dependency. You can choose your own package and you can start your self-implementation at a glance. But in an on-site implementation, yes, it's definitely required. Vendor 100% control over the system. In self-implementation online, no, it's not vendor dependency. That's why there is no intervention of the vendor. But on-site, yes, it is required. In on-site implementation, you required vendor dependency. It is 100% yes. Vendor and company confidential data sharing risk. In self-implementation, you need not require to share any data with the vendor in case of online self-implementation. In vendor on-site implementation, yes, you need to share data because vendor is providing a template to you and you can put the data in that template and you can send that template for the vendor to uploading purpose. Vendor terms and condition, norms, protocol following. In self-implementation, online self-implementation, you need not to follow any terms and condition, norms, protocol, because this thing you are going to do yourself. In case on-site with vendor implementation, yes, then vendor can put their terms and condition, their norms, their protocol. You need to follow that with 100%. Less time and huge cost saving. In case of self-implementation, online self-implementation, yes, it is a huge cost saving. In case of vendor, no. Vendor have their own cost and you need to agree at the time of negotiation for that cost itself. Small internal team or independent resource dependency. Online self-implementation, yes, it is a small team, small implementation team, and you need to independent. You are independent for the implementation. In case of vendor, it's no, because you need your dependency will be 100%. In self online implementation, you need not require any technical skill or lesser technical skill required. In vendor dependency, you can require technical skill because vendor is asking a skilled person. Because in this case, online self-implementation, you will easily understand through the documentation and video how we can going to implement this here. In that case, you need not require a technical skill. But in the vendor case, yes, you require technical skills. Can hire or change partners for any additional customization, integration, migration task. In self-implementation online, yes, you can change any partner at any time during the customization requirement or integration and migration tasks. But in case if you sign a contract with any specific vendor, then in some of the cases might be that vendor is not allowing you to change your partner for the customization. Quick and flexible implementation in case of self-implement online, yes, it is possible, and it is also flexible. Why we are saying flexible? You can implement at your own time. You need to take your own time for the implementation. In case of vendor, no, vendor will give you a timeline, and during that timeline itself you need to implement the entire ERPNext application. Implementation with expert ERP consultant in self-implementation online, yes. In vendor itself also it is the same case. There is no difference at all. Additional support and maintenance charges in self-implementation, you need not to pay any single penny, as earlier I said, because it is a self-implementation. You can access your videos and document at any time, and you can implement any you can get a self-support of your ERPNext application. But in case of vendor, yes, a certain time frame vendor will support you with a free of cost, but after that time frame you need to pay, or you need to sign off the AMC with that vendor. So these are the major comparison with self online implementation and vendor on-site implementation. In the comparison part 2 about the time and other things. Time to get right self-implementer, it required at least 1 day to decide who is the right self-implementer for our online self-implementation. In case of vendor, it takes almost 4 to 12 weeks. Time to start a project, you can start immediately in case of ERPNext online self-implementation. In case of vendor, it takes 3 to 12 weeks, because vendor will come to your site, he understood your business requirements, he understood your business process, and then after he sends you a template for the data, and then he will set up the company. In case of ERPNext online self-implementation, you have to ready-made your data. You can start immediately at any level or any point. Business domain knowledge, you are the business owner. In case of ERPNext online self-implementation, you are the business owner, so you know your business very well. That's we are saying it's a full knowledge available. But with respect to vendor on-site implementation, partial knowledge may be possible, because vendor are not aware the entire knowledge of your business. Resource cost and training in this online ERPNext online self-implementation, resource cost will be a zero, because your user are going to implement, or you are doing self-implementation yourself, so there is no resource cost required. But in case of vendor, it will be additional cost you need to pay. Time to scale size or team, immediately with in-house team. But in case of vendor, you need 2 to 12 weeks of time to scale the size of team. Project failure risk in ERPNext self-implementation, it's extremely low, where if you compare with the vendor on-site implementation, it is a very high. Termination cost in ERPNext online self-implementation, there is no termination cost. In vendor case, it's depend upon the vendor how much he charge for the termination or cancellation of the project fee. Agile development methodology is in ERPNext. It is a standard as per the course progress. Online ERPNext online self-implementation, we will follow a standard as per course progress. But as per with a vendor on-site implementation is as per vendor choice. Quality assurance, in case ERPNext online self-implementation, quality is 100%. In case of vendor, it's unpredictable, because it's depend on the vendor knowledge and vendor technical skills. So quality will be depend on vendor's technical skill and their knowledge capabilities. So project impact due to any reason, in case of ERPNext online self-implementation, it's none. But in case of vendor on-site implementation, it is a very high. Structured training program, yes. ERPNext online self-implementation give you a structured training program. In case of vendor, it's little bit doubtful or almost no. And we talk about the licensing cost with ERPNext implementation in comparison to other branded softwares like SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, or any other SaaS software. Licensing cost, ERPNext self-implementation, it's a free because it's a 100% open source application. SAP, you need to pay. Oracle, also you need to pay. Microsoft, you need to pay, and other SaaS software also you need to pay. User limits in ERPNext, there is unlimited user access. In other softwares, there is a limited user access depending upon their policy and their terms and conditions. Cloud hosting type, it's ready to start on cloud, and in other softwares like SAP, Oracle, or Microsoft, you need to pay a license cost and configuration cost as well. Cloud hosting cost, ERPNext starting than less than 10,000, and in case of other software it is a more than 50,000 onwards. Implementation type, time required to implement a ERPNext self-implementation module as per the module, it required 4 to 8 weeks, and other software it required 12 to 24 weeks. Implementation videos, yes, File and self-implementation video available for the self-implementation. In other software, there is no self-implementation videos available for the other branded software like SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, or SaaS. Customization type, it is a full customizable. ERPNext application is a full customizable and scalable application. Other product might be partial, or some other products are not applicable or limited also. In SAP, there is a partial customization, but customization cost is a huge. Oracle is similar to that. Microsoft is not giving any customization, which will be a very limited, and in other SaaS product, it's not applicable. Control and ownership. In ERPNext application, yes, you have a full control and ownership access of your ERPNext application. In SAP and other software products, no. Support, dedicated support from File Ventures Private Limited, and other software, there is a medium, or you need to pay a huge support cost for the any support, technical support you required. Migration, as and when you required, migration is possible, and in SAP, high cost involved in this migration. Integration is also the same scenario. You can, as and when you required to do integration, but in SAP, Oracle, and Microsoft, high cost involved for the integration purpose. Now talk about data security. 100% data is with you or with client itself, then data secured will be 100% with client. In other software, data is secured, 100% secured, but it's with the vendor itself. Then maintenance cost. In ERPNext self-implementation, there is almost zero maintenance cost, but in other branded software like SAP, Oracle, you need to a very high maintenance cost, because their resources cost will be a very high, and that's why you need to maintain that resources. So to manage our software or any other ERP application, it's very high cost. In case of ERPNext, you need not require any high technical skill resources, so any end user can easily maintain that. So there is no cost involved for the maintenance purpose. Why self-implementers required? Self-implementers is an online learning platform for people who are genuinely willing to learn and implement the technology solutions like ERP, CRM, HRM into their company without spending more time and resources. Self-Implementer is an online learning platform for people who are genuinely willing to learn and implement the technology solutions like ERP, CRM, HRM into their company without spending more time and resources. Now about the Philian Ventures Private Limited. Philian Ventures Private Limited is a CMMI Level 3 ISO and DIPP certified company trusted by enterprise and governments for hassle-free application consulting, development and maintenance of project. We have a recognition of ISO certification and CMMI level certification as well. So thank you very much for your patience and attention.